Hey everybody, so here's an update of my tower garden from the last video. You can see it's quite lush, a lot of growing. There's been a few changes here. What you see in front of you is mostly different lettuce. You got some lettuce here, and you can hear and see some of the water flowing. You see it there. So it's watering time. There's a few more lettuce here. I have some really nice basil over here, and over here. Really big, beautiful sage plant over here. I've got some small little dark, I think it's opal basil. And I just trimmed them a bit, so that's why they're so small. And I have some anise hyssop growing here. You can see where's it growing from? Up here. And it's quite big. And it's already got these little flowers on there. And the flowers actually tasted some. They do taste like anise. And they're very sweet. They're very, very sweet. They're really, really tasty. So I'm going to use those in some teas. I have some chives around here and there. Some more anise hyssop. Up here is some stinging nettle. Just a bit. And then I got a bunch of parsley over here, I got some kale, and then I got a whole bunch of tomatoes here, and you can see, let's see here, so if you look in here, it's got a whole bunch of tomatoes growing. These are vine tomatoes. I think it's an F1 generation hybrid. Tumbler tomatoes, you can see there. And this is pretty amazing. Like, I didn't think I would get tomatoes indoors with basically just the lighting from that comes with the Grow Tower attachment, and then I added I added one here, extra grow light that I just got from the hardware store. And yeah, they flowered really well, and now they're growing a lot of tomatoes. So it'll be interesting to see how long they take to ripen. What else do I have here? I have a little zucchini plant growing here, but it's not growing so well. It's kind of my fault. I moved it and it broke a bit, so now it's trying to grow out again. So it's a little miniature one. I have some dandelion, some chicoria. I got another one of those dandelions over here, and one up there. I do like dandelion. So you can see my thyme, they were taking a while to grow, and now they're just blossoming like they won't stop growing. So I got a lot of thyme here. I use a lot of herbs in my cooking, so that works for me. And then I also have, I think you guys remember last time, some tenerumi, or I guess it's kukuza, is the zucchini plant that I use. It's a Sicilian zucchini plant. And it's a vine. Now I don't have some of the tower gardens, they have sort of like a trellis they can put around it for vines, like tomatoes and the zucchini, but I don't use the trellis, and for the small, like little tumbler tomatoes that I have here, I don't really need it. And then the tenerumi, I have a few plants here growing. So one is growing down there, one in the back, and they're growing up, and then you can see I hung sort of a stick up there, and that's all from about 2 or 3, I think 3 zucchini plants. So I have some more lighting over there, kind of feeding it a bit. And basically what I do is I harvest some of the stems and the leaves when they're not too big, and I use them in my soups, because tenerumi zucchini leaves, you can eat other zucchini leaves too, but tenerumi zucchini leaves are very tender. They're a little fuzzy, just a little bit, but they're very tender, and they have a very nice distinct flavor. So if you cook it with onions and tomatoes and stew it, it makes a really, really nice soup. What else? I have some mints that I just started growing a few weeks ago, and they're already growing quite well, because all my mint outside is pretty much done now for the year. It's October now, it's quite cold, so I had to start some inside. What else do I have? I think that's pretty much it. You know, mostly lettuce, tomatoes, tons of herbs. The hyssop, surprising how well it's growing. It's kind of nice to have some flowers in here. But yeah, I use this mostly just for teas. And then over here, I have some of my Kratky. So I have another little tenarumi plant growing over here. Got some basil. I have some clippings from my mint from outside. I'm going to try and propagate them inside. A little bit more thyme. And then I have some more tomato plants here. And then I have some kale as well. I have some chamomile, which was actually growing well. It was blossoming. And then I got some aphids, aphids, whatever you call them. And they kept attacking my chamomile here, and I have some other chamomile down here. So I had to keep dunking them in water, spraying them with my oil and soap solution. And you can see they're not doing so well anymore. I got another basil plant here. I have another little tumbler tomato. So see, it just grows out of this little container here, and then you follow it, and boom, there's your tomatoes. I got another one down there. Look at all these little tomatoes. It's pretty cool. And these have basically just been growing in this little container here. It's the same nutrients that go in the grow tower, the tower garden. But I put it in the cup here, and they've been doing well. I have some grow lights underneath in this area here. I got some mint. I got a little pepper plant, which was also being attacked by aphids a lot. But this one seemed to survive. I lost another pepper plant. Actually, I think there's two here. And you can see they're already flowering. I've got a lot more flower buds coming through. And you can see how small it is. That's my hand there. So very, very tiny pepper plant. I didn't know it'd be that tiny. And then if we go into my kitchen here, I guess you remember I was talking about my micro tomato plants last time. And they were just starting to get a few tomatoes, I think. Or maybe just flowering. And now you can see, look at all these little micro tomatoes. It's pretty cool. And these were just grown from seed in these little containers. And these ones with the flowers are younger. And then the ones with the tomatoes, I think, are a month older, maybe a few weeks older at least. And you can see I'm getting a lot of tomatoes. There's a little bit of yellowing on the leaves. I'm not sure if that's nutrients, or they had some issues with aphids too, so maybe it was from that. Here's another one that's flowering. It's going to get a lot of tomatoes. So what I do is I kind of just like press them very gently, shake them up a little bit, and that seems to help pollinate them. I mean, look at all these tomatoes that I got just indoors, hand pollinating. Yeah, and then there was this one here, which accidentally I forgot to fill it with water and it dried out. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to revive it or not. I have a feeling it won't, but we'll see. It's not dead, but it's still not doing too well, and I gave it water 2 days ago, I think. So, but the other ones are doing really, really well. And then over here I have some basil in soil, basil in a Kratky, and then I have another little micro tomato plant. Look at all these flowers. So cool. I'm really looking forward to tasting these micro tomato plants because I love tomatoes. I would love to have them indoors all winter. And they're hard to manage. Bigger plants are hard to manage, so here are just like little tiny micro ones. It could be just enough for my salads. They didn't take too long to grow. A couple months, I think, to get to this point. I gotta look at my records. But yeah, so here's the update. Hopefully you guys like this. Let me know if you have any questions about the tower garden. You can see in here. I should fill it up. I have a feeling it's kind of low with the water. Yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned last time I was getting a smell out of the water here, and there's little bits of debris that deposit over time, but the smell was getting so strong that I had to actually change all the water out. But I don't know, I have a feeling maybe I was adding too many nutrients. Maybe the bucket I was using, I was over putting too much nutrients in there, because now I've been kind of toning down the nutrients a little bit, and the plants are still growing really well. And the smell is not coming back at all. It's been at least a month since I changed that water, I think. And no hint of any smell anymore. So it could have been that. I don't know exactly what it was. But all I did was change out the water. I had to lift this whole thing with the plants in it, which was a bit of a pain. But changing out the water pretty much fixed that. So that's it for now. And I'll try and think of some questions for next time. But yeah, I really highly recommend this grow tower. I didn't think it would grow this well. Honestly, when I saw the pictures of all this lush vegetation on them, I thought, you know, maybe that's how it looks on the website, but it's not going to look like that for me. And it's amazing, everything that I've been able to grow in here. This lettuce is growing like crazy. I've been eating way more lettuce than I normally do, which is good. And, you know, I'm sure I can upkeep it a bit better. Maybe those of you who garden better be like, your lettuce doesn't look so hot. But, you know, it's doing well. I already harvested, you know, less than a quarter from each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 today. You know, and look at how much I have left. I still need to eat a bunch this week. And the herbs, you know, I've been using these basil for months, clipping away at it, and my soups and everything, my chives. I just trim them like up to here maybe, or maybe a little bit lower, and then they keep growing back. You know, it's not like you grow it, you pick it, and then you have to grow it again. No, you can reharvest most of these things. Parsley is the same, kale's the same. So, yeah, that's it. And I'll talk to you guys later.